Welcome back to Shift Your Shit, Kill Your Fear. Today I am coming in hot and I'm going to share with you ways of thinking at a subconscious level. With so many people that I work with, there's common themes, there's common denominators, and again, we're all one. And so today, like I said, I'm going to come in hot in ways to free and clear your mind fast, efficient, effectively. So take it at your own speed. Feel free to pause me because I am going to be giving you so much information that you can take with you because my sole mission here is to get you more free in mind and body. So again, feel free to pause, take notes, listen on repeat, send to yourself in the future for reminders, and we're going to get right into it. So freeing your mind, freeing your soul. When we declutter the mind, and a lovely concept I like to share is when we are deconstipating our mind. So your mind is constipated. So think about how there's a bunch of different poo going on in there. And what we want to do is clear it out and let it move through. So this is the work that we do here to do that. So buckle up and let's get right to it. So your mind is also like a computer system full of open tabs that is slowing down the way that you are meant to be here in the world, your true soul alignment. So what we want to do is detox the mind. You could even think about dieting the mind. So much we talk about foods and what not to put in and out, but really dieting the mind is where it all starts. Because if you can't get your mind and train your mind to look at things differently, right? To want to eat the more healthy foods versus the XYZ foods, then you're going to still have that battle if you're just doing at the physical level versus the mental level. So here we're going to get more clear on that you're going to feel like your deeper mind is stronger. That other stuff like a diet is easier to do if that's your journey. But here we're dieting the mind. So let's get into it. We're going to awaken and release to have real ease. We all desire real ease inside, and nothing outside of us can give us that. So we have to get to release to have the real ease in the mind. Thinking about this, let's get to it. Mind is like a 5-year-old. So everyone that I work with in group settings, in one-on-one, in conversations, I want you, if anything you're going to take away from this, your deeper mind is a 5-year-old. And when you go out in the world and you see people, imagine them in diapers because that's what's happening. Their subconscious mind is running their show 95% of the time. Is the thing that they're getting triggered or making responses, flicking you off in traffic, right? Yelling at you in just public. That is you're seeing their trauma response, but really their 0 to 7-year-old experience of what things are showing up for them. So when you go around now, don't blame me that you're seeing everyone in their diapers, but that's how it works. So we can also be gentle with ourselves and others, being more empathetic and compassionate, that all we're doing is the best we can with what's been installed in us, what's been constipated in our minds, right? What's been opened up in the tabs of the computer processor our whole life. And here's where we clear and delete the tabs and we let the constipation go through. So we're a clear, open channel for more things we actually desire and want to feel internally. So within, so without. Through this process, to be kind to yourself, saying things like you're adorable or that's interesting versus judgments of I'm wrong or right or this is good or bad. When we start neutralizing those verbiages, the narratives going on in the mind, you will also open up your channel to your alignment, to your soul, to your freedom. And just changing words. Words have frequency. So when we can free the frequency and connect to words and vibrations that are useful for the mind, you're going to start seeing not only your internal reality change, but your external. But I'll hold off on that for now. I want to start with anger and anxiety, these two fundamental things that we really dance with in this human experience and we've learned and been conditioned with. Anxiety, I want you to imagine, is like your legs getting stronger. It's actually happening because think about it. When a rabbit is trying to run away from a tiger, it's not going to be using its mind. What's going to happen, it's going to be having stronger legs to run and be successful in achieving that. Now, many times I would say you're not being chased by a lion, right? But our bodies are created in that animalistic way to do so. So when your legs are getting stronger, what's happening to your mind? It's getting dumber. It's not getting strategic and clear and focused. It's just in survival mode. That's why anxiety feels so intense, the survival mode. It's when you feel not safe, because again, the lion internally is chasing. So my favorites, again, you look left to right and you say, no lion is chasing me. There is no threat. In any moment, a boss sends you a text message, your mom yells at you, your best friend's mad at you. You just pause. What a pleasure. Look left and right. No lion chasing me. There is no immediate threat because your body is signaling that, which really you're minusing it to the body, which again, stronger legs. You'd probably be very good at running in that moment, but not so good being strategic, clear, focused, and making choices that feel aligned to your soul. So we look at anxiety in that way. Now when we look at anger, anger is in the jaw and the mouth. Because again, in an animal, right, if a mama bear is trying to protect a cub bear and something is and their animal's approaching and then they're feeling threatened, mama bear is going to do what? Have the jaw get stronger to bite, to be able to protect the baby cub. Now imagine for you, you're a mama bear and your inner being, or even the childhood self of you, is your cub. You are working on protecting that little cub in you. So when, again, someone is threatening you and you're feeling anger toward them, or they hurt your feelings, they're judging you and you just want to go, right? Even the mouth, or you're feeling tense jaw. Even right now, open your mouth wide and just notice what's happening. Because so much time we spend with our jaws very much clenched. So when we do that, even again, that is a body somatic thing we can do, is open and close our jaw. But we want to release this anger because it's not useful for our systems. And again, we don't actually have an animal coming up to us and needing to bite them away. So those two things, again, we can go so much deeper, but I'm going to give you just, again, quick and potent things to get the wheels turning for you. Notice what things are triggering you, maybe in good ways, maybe not in good ways, as I share these things. And again, you can feel free to pause and journal about it, or just sit and process with it, and continue to just come back and notice the things that, again, are awakening to release through you today and throughout the rest of this journey together. Now, we want to look now at words are wands. Okay, your words that you say, yes, internally, but externally as well, is creating a reality. So again, I can go so much deeper and you can let me know if you want future episodes with more of this, but words are creating. When you are saying things, I am especially is a powerful entrance into stating what is going to be. I am. That's when people say, like, I am anxious. I am just like that. I'm perfectionistic. I'm a people pleaser. You are stating your reality. You are giving yourself labels. So you might as well give yourself labels that are useful. I am powerful. I am strong. I am confident. I am successful. And again, it sounds silly. There's so many layers underneath that. But if you start there with knowing words are my wand, and how am I speaking? Am I sharing gossip, rumors, complaining? Is that how I want to be in the version of me that is living in more abundance in mind, body, soul, spirit, and more freedom, mind, body, soul, spirit, peace, ease? Would they be having those conversations and doing those things? And even there's a deeper layer in that with Kabbalistic thinking, that you, again, complaining and rumors, and it's called hashra, it's where it's evil eye. It's actually not only hurting you, but hurting the people you're telling it to and those that it's about. It's really a three sword here, where again, we can go into this another time, but those kinds of conversations are truly creating wars within, without, all around you, which we wonder why today there's so much of that going on. It's our speech, it's our internal dialogues, it's the wars within, so without. And when we get to focus in, that's why the best thing you can do is be in this work. Be in the work of clearing and killing your fears in the mind and body, and relating to your mind differently, because that's where the real consciousness of our world changes and shifts. So again, take away with you, words are wands. Now, mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real. So for example, if you close your eyes right now and you notice and you picture cutting a lemon, smelling the lemon, putting it up to your mouth, maybe doing a little taste with your tongue, and just notice right now what's happening in your mouth. And there might be more saliva producing or something's going on there maybe. And if not, that's okay too. You can just notice for now. And it's an exercise that can remind us, you can open your eyes, that can remind us that our mind has no idea that things aren't happening right now. Why do the most incredible Olympians do meditation and do visualization? Because their mind is already going, oh, you stiff that nailing, on the beam. Oh, we already did it. And then we already did it over and over again, that when they actually go and do it, they're successful at it because their mind and body already pick up on, we've done this several times, right? That's also why if you're feeding it, I'm falling, and you're seeing yourself falling, and then they fall. That's why, again, with athletes, and they really just sharpen how they're visualizing in the mind of what's going to be going on in their reality. It's powerful stuff, and this is nothing new. It's all remembrance of you. And knowing that Magic Nation is your imagination, where kids are so good at this. You ask them, like, give me a scenario and scene, and they're just able to give you all these things. And then you ask an adult, and they're just like living in the basement of their mind, of their imagination, because you are magic inside, and somewhere along the way, we've lost touch with that childlike wonder and awe and splendor and joy in our imagination. So if anything today, I want you to imagine something. One of my favorite things to do is thinking about like money, right? We are so limited. We live again in the basement of the mind of how we can get money, create money, the amounts of money in our world. We are not in lack of money, everyone, right? And there's the beliefs, thoughts you keep on thinking that's happening with literally plugging in, like I say, it's a dam and a river that you're creating without this flow coming through. And so, you can imagine, so as I was thinking it, a bird just flew by, because you can imagine a bird flies by and just drops down $100 bill. Why not, right? If a kid was going to be explaining this right now, they would take it even further with their imagination of how you could get money. So play with that today. Maybe it's money, maybe it's something else that you desire. Maybe it's a car where you just imagine a car just plops in the middle of nowhere for you. I will share a brief story with you that one of the most powerful moments on my journey that continued to really awaken me, and has been so many other experience I can share another time too. But I remember wanting a blue shirt and just being like, okay, I have a blue shirt, and maybe I'll see it at a store, maybe, whatever. I was thinking of kind of the normal things that, how you get a blue shirt. The next thing, I'm walking in my neighborhood, and I'm walking next to the school, and on the railing is lying there a blue shirt, the perfect color I was visioning, the perfect size. And I remember looking up and going, am I supposed to take this shirt? Like, it was completely clean, like just there. And, heard a voice saying yes. And still this day I have that blue shirt. And it was a profound moment of, again, we live so small in our minds of possibilities. Was I ever going, maybe you'll be on a railing at a school I walk by, and you just never know. So we release the how, and we step into the magical, the mythical ways of things too. So play around with that and just have fun with it. This work can be really, really fun. So we want to feed the possibilities, not the limitations. And we are walking around in a world where most people are just looking at the limits of themselves, of things around them. And if you start to go, how can I feed more of this possibility in me, around me, beyond me? Again, using the imagination, how that will change is very, very powerful. Again, the basement of the mind versus the mansion of the mind. You can shoot for the stars, but you can also shoot beyond the stars, right? The little boy is going, I want to be president. And this other boy goes, I want to be president of the universe, president of the US or president of this country. Like, you, the universe. So what do you want? What do you desire? And again, always come with the desire of how you want to feel first. Because no car, mansion, helicopter ride is going to be a long-lasting fulfillment. It's really how you feel in here and having that to start. Another thing I notice a lot is, again, going back to the labels, and even to things that are kind of sneaky, like quizzes, or, it's like, what's your biggest strength? What's all things you are taking quizzes, and even it can be astrology and different things. I am not opposed to any of it. I think it can be really good baseline stuff. But to catch it where if it's keeping you stuck, going, well, I'm just this way, right? I'm just this sign, or in astrology, or, well, this is just this is my quiz result, so I'm this way. This is my number one strength, so it's all it's the best thing I'm good at. And you just to go, where am I putting myself in these boxes? And that's actually, maybe it's feeling comfortable, but keeping me stuck from growing. Again, we're always about growing the inner vessel. From the water glass, we want to make it into a vase, to a pot, to a fish tank, to an ocean. There actually is no limits. And a lot of these times, these labels of things, even the I ams, again, which are powerful, and again, your words are your wand, but even the things of like, oh yeah, I'm a da-da-da in a different quiz, or again, astrology chart. Charts are wonderful. We love the known. But again, that can also stifle our growth of who we really meant to be here. And so just noticing that and, maybe taking some note. What are some labels or some quizzes that I've been like, I'm this, and saying, how useful is that? And there's probably degrees we dance with it that are, and then can we sometimes challenge it and doing that as well. So I want to dive into a little bit more. I'm going to say more women specific, but this does not mean that it cannot relate to men. It's just what I've seen a lot with women that I've worked with. A deeper fear and narrative pattern of I can't have needs. And again, you can pause me, you can sit with it, you can write it down to sit with it later, but I do recommend that you sit with it for 5-10 minutes and just notice what shows up in you. I can't have needs. And if that feels activated in you, that is something I work with women a lot on, is this deeper thing, because a lot of women, empathetic and very much so maybe in your family dynamic, wanted to make sure everyone was okay, and again, always going back to the airplane metaphor that gets it so well. Putting on the oxygen mask before others, it can feel uncomfortable, but you are not going to be able to serve your wellness, your soul, your world around you if you're not putting on that oxygen mask first. So see if there's any cobwebs within the I can't have needs category. Another one is fear of receiving, which can be aligned to that as well. The idea of it being uncomfortable to receive. So many women are like, well, I want more abundance and I want a partner and I want, more love and light, and going, well, what would happen if someone just came to you and gave that to you? What would happen if a dream partner came up to you and said, I love you? What would happen if someone came up to you and handed you $5 million? And would you actually receive? If someone said, too, doing more internal work and investing in time in doing that in a way that feels useful for you. Is something that we can talk ourselves out of. I don't have time, right? But I'm dealing with so-and-so. My business is so busy right now, or this, or this, or this. And if you knew the most luxury thing that you can invest in is your mind and body, it would be a no-brainer to take time for that to receive. Another thing too, a lot of shoulder and back issues, pain. Again, it's the weight of the world. You feel like you're all alone, you're carrying all of that. And again, a lot of things, that's mind sending signals to the body to get your attention. If it can't get your attention in the mind with some verbiage or stories or narratives or reels, it's going to send it to the body. And so being aware of anything that's showing up in the body, knowing that it's just here to get your attention. And every body part actually has a message. And again, a lot of the work that I do, we bring that forth and through and shift the shit. Beautiful. Another thing is fear of judgment. And this is all around across the border, because again, if a zebra is hanging out with zebra friends and it's like, I want to have red and black stripes now, and they start painting themselves red and black, the other zebras are like, you're not a part of us, you're different. And then they all peace out, and then that zebra is left alone. And then what's going to happen with that zebra? Eventually, it's going to die. What we call that in our minds is abandonment. And we feel like if people are mad at us, judging us, again, maybe leave our movie here, we will be abandoned, and that means deeper minds going to send you the signal that you're going to die. And that's a threat, right? That's the whole lion chasing you. So when you realize that there's actually no threat, and that if you were alone, one, you could start anew with new people, but also two, you could also say, well, maybe I'll enjoy being really alone. This whole stigma around being alone, which actually is a very beautiful thing when you work that muscle, there's no threat when you get to the baseline of that realization. So again, that fear of abandonment, judgment is very interlaced, and we get to work through the deeper mind and releasing the fear and threat around that as well in this work. This one's going to be interesting. So again, maybe you close your eyes or soften your gaze. And again, what's so good about a podcast is you can pause. So I do actually recommend during this to take time to pause it and just kind of let it all sink in, and come back when you're feeling ready for more. Fun fact, our attention spans now are about 4 to 7 seconds, whereas before they were much longer. That's from instant gratifications, social media, scrolling, all this stuff. Think about Amazon comes right to your door. There's all these things we're feeding the now, and if we don't get it now, our mind just goes. So a lot of people are like, I have ADHD, I can't focus. It's the world around you. Quiet the noise, pause. That's why, again, take time in silence, meditation, being with one thing, one focus thing at a time. It's a muscle to retrain, but it's a remembrance also with that. But before I get way off course, pause and want to either pause me or pause right now, and let's go into the next concept that might bring up some stuff for you, some of the constipation inside. But that's what we're here to do, is to unleash it and to let it move through. So close your eyes for a moment and just sit with the words, something is wrong with me. And just breathe into that for a moment. Something is wrong with me. And just notice how real that feels in this moment. Maybe you can label it from a percentage, 0 to 100 or 1 to 10 of the heightenedness or the intensity of that. And then just come back and just notice. Give yourself grace for what came up. Again, we live in a world where there's so much fear-mongering and that we need to be fixed. There's always a product or a course or to fix you, to make you better. And although here in this work, yes, I want your mind free and clear, but I'm not saying that you're going to be better or that you're not perfect the way you are. I just know that I attract souls that are here for more and wanting to expand, and we get to release subconscious stuff that's never us anyways. Your thoughts aren't you. These beliefs aren't you. And so when you can release something's wrong with you, because all times people come with even something going on and I'll be like, do you think something's wrong with you because of that? I'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, what if there's not anything wrong with you with what's showing up for you? Maybe you're actually more tapped and tuned on. And that's like a thing that shows up to remind you that. Or is an invitation for you to do something with it or to create or to, there's so many possibilities, not limitations, where we come back to that concept. So you might notice certain things that you do or how you be, which again, we can always shift that. But I believe that it's great to start the root of nothing's wrong with you. Self-help books, right? You're not here to help yourself. You're here to serve yourself in the world. It's a different narrative with your words are wands with that. There's nothing wrong with you. And if anything, again, to take away today, repeating that to self, there's nothing wrong with me. I am perfect, whole, and complete the way I am. And there's room to grow. Try that on for the next few days. And I want you to, we're going to go back to judgment for a moment. I want you to imagine a teacher is yelling at a student because they failed the test, and the teacher's putting down, slapping down the test score, big F on it, right? And you're seeing the teacher yelling at the student, me and you are just watching and observing. What are we learning about the student? Nothing. You might say maybe we're learning something, but we're actually learning nothing in that moment. But we are learning a lot about the teacher, because the teacher is believing that if I yell at the students and reprimand them, that that's going to actually be of service and help. But what we're really viewing here is that that's a belief the teacher has that maybe has learned from other teachers or family dynamics or whatever, that to yell at a child means that you're going to get them to do what they want to, what you want them to do. It's a way maybe to control or, again, get what you want. So in that dynamic, we're not learning anything. And why I bring that up is when people are coming to you and yelling at you or doing these things, that's showing their own triggers or their own programs and conditions. Now, it does not get us off the hook to go, why is this in my movie? Which is a beautiful question I love to ask, of going, what in me am I yelling at myself? Because again, what we attract is what we be within. So within, so without. It's mirroring to us something. But their actual state and how they're going about it is their stuff. And so we get to just love on that and knowing that it's just a program condition that they believe has been serving them to connect with you. So again, think of that teacher. It's actually the opposite of connection to do that, but the teacher believes it's a way to connect. So play around with that metaphor concept if it's useful for you, of noticing the next time someone's like angry or mad or sharing some things or judgment, that again, it's them doing a thing they think will be useful to connect with you and to serve themselves and you. But the internal work is going, where am I yelling at myself or judging myself or angry at myself? Don't make it about them. It's never about the person. It's about what's showing up in you. Okay. I shared this a little bit earlier, but I'm going to share it again. One thing at a time, because that's where overwhelm also can occur. A lot of people I work with, they just overwhelm all the things. Why you go into overwhelm? Because the mind is stacking up all the things. It's almost like you go to a buffet and your mind's going, you have to eat it all at once. It like all at once, like all put it in your mouth, like not one thing after. It's like all one time. And it's going, what? Like the mind process to think about. Your mind's going to go, I don't know how to do that. Or you getting dressed for the day, and it's like, no, don't put on your socks and shoes and then your shirt. Like, you got to put it all on at once. And then you're standing there going, like, that's overwhelm, right? Like, to do it all at once, this little boy's like, can't get dressed. And the mom's like, why can't you get dressed? Like, I don't know how to put all this on at once. And the mom's like, start with the socks, right? Start with the, underwear, and that's how you build. You take one thing at a time. So next time you notice you're overwhelmed, you can just tell your mind, okay, you're just thinking you got to eat the buffet all at once. I got to put the clothes all on at once. So what do? We eat one thing at a time. We put on one clothing at a time. And just notice even in that moment when you catch the shift that can occur internally. So again, and then anxiety, coming back to that for a moment. Again, it's a deeper feeling of not feeling safe. And again, that's going to happen from childhood and certain dynamics. We give all the players in our movie grace on that. We did choose our family and the people that are showing up in our life to show us and to get us to who we really be, to remember that. But it is really a not feeling safe and thinking that you're all alone. So a great thing to remember is that you're never alone. You're never alone. There's things bigger than you that we can't even see. Again, if you believe in God, creating something bigger, that's one other player on your side, that you're not alone. But also knowing there's so many other things out there that we can't even possibly comprehend that are also helping us along the way. And that's also where that shoulder back relief gets to come in, is that when you trust life and you trust things are working out for your good, that can release a lot of this internal tension and anxiety that can occur. Another metaphor I love with that is a porcupine thinking the needles are coming at it. Right? Even that something's wrong with you, or the anxiety and the fears, but really the porcupine needles, we can tell the porcupine, hey, dude, right? The porcupine needles are going out of you. They're to protect you. And doesn't mean that the porcupine without the needles wouldn't also be wonderful, but it's one of those things it has for it to work with and not fear, but to embrace that I was born with needles. Okay. Another idea of this is the security guard in the backyard, where you see someone in your backyard all in black and you're like, who is this person? And a lot of our minds, again, we want to be in that survival mode versus the thriving. And so we're going to go, there's a threat. Oh my gosh, maybe it's a robber. But you look closely and you see on it says security guard. And so then you realize like, oh, there's no threat. And that's what the mind is doing, is it's just trying to get your attention. So a lot of times it's going to feel like these robbers coming in, but they're just security guards. But there are a lot of them, and not most of them, are ones to say, hey, dude, like, you can stand there. Like, maybe I don't need you today. And it's just working with that relationship of that, when the security guard is useful and not. But again, not a threat of a robber. And they can look similar, but knowing the difference. We're going to think about 3 different concepts here next. So again, feel free to pause me. I'm going to remind you, I'm actually going to offer you, because many of you I know are just like, I love it, I want to take it all in. But again, we're at a buffet. Take it slow. Take it slow. So maybe you pause right now and come back, even in just like 10 seconds. I want you to think of dis-ease is this baseline. That's why, again, we're seeing a lot of the things in the body showing up to get our attention of things that we're not in ease about. The next level of that is inspiration, when we're feeling inspired. Again, a lovely space to be. And actually above that is neutrality. So many times we think that we want to be living in this high, but there's always the drop of the low from the high, and this up and down. When we are in neutrality, one of my favorite words is tranquility. Think about the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, actually in the depth of the ocean is tranquility. And notice how much peace and ease is there. Right? Even close your eyes for a moment, think of like the ocean waves up top crashing. Like, it's fun and exciting, but like that was like all day, every day. Like, it's pretty exhausting. And then we go to right below it and we can hear it a bit, right? Again, it's flowing, it's fun, it's exciting. That's where the inspiration is. But beneath that is a neutrality below. And that's where the spaciousness to really feel who we really are and have clarity and certainty. That's really where the magic comes from, is in that neutrality. So you can always just kind of check in. Do I feel a little bit dis-ease, unease? Am I feeling inspiration? Am I feeling neutrality? Knowing we're gonna move throughout that, but getting to kind of check in with that internal ocean can be really useful for our deeper mind as well. Next is, again, if you have been here for a while, you know that your mind is a projector and your world is a movie screen, or a simulation, we like to call it here. And knowing, again, so within, so without, whatever is going on in here, I'm going to see that. If I'm judging myself, I'm going to see people judging me, right? If I'm critiquing myself, I'm going to see people critiquing me. Everybody in your world is showing you something that is ready to awaken if you, again, point the finger at self in a loving, gentle, kind way, right? How can I grow from this? versus I'm a victim in my life, right? I'm not a victim. I am a hero in my life, and how I show up for that differently. In the Mario video game concept, I love to play with that Mario, all the different players are just versions of him. They're just all one. Bowser's the anger in him. Luigi's that partner in crime that wants to be supportive in him. The Princess Peach is the, wanting to save yourself, wanting to be that hero in you. It's all part of you. It's all part of one. That's why we see so much when we talk to people, interact with people, that their stuff is similar. It's osmosis. And also, too, I will not go deep into this now, but the Bible, people that want to fight it or whatever, it's metaphoric. It's all these players within you that you move through. So a big question to take with you, why is this in my movie, is a great way to get out of the victim and more into the hero mindset. Wars within are creating the wars in the world. And being mindful of that's why this work is so powerful. We think, well, I need to go save the world out there. Go to the internal work first, because that work's going to be so much more important when you get out there in the world. And another concept is deep introspection. This is something that I definitely found out in my journey that I really, and again, I always love learning and knowing and creating and expanding, but deep introspection is a form of emotional turmoil, because it's going to just keep you in the, and it just kind of, you can get lost in it, versus again, we're here to create, we're here to be with like creator and create and be of service to ourselves and others. And so if we're going to just keep deep, like, again, why is in my movie? Yes, see it and then move through it, but you don't need to keep diving into the depth of it and then you're like lost in the deep ocean water. So being mindful of that as well, I think is a really powerful thing to take away. Knowing that your mind wants to keep you in the familiar, in the comfort. So again, when you're just like, I just like this, is that true? Or is that something you've just gotten really familiar with and comfortable with? And that is a really big awakening and very sneaky at times, because again, it can be like, this is what I prefer, but it's just what you're comfortable with. Mind's going to want you in comfort. That's why people stay in toxic relationships or are doing the same things over and over again that maybe don't serve them. It's because the mind's feeding like, well, we like this because it's what's familiar. It's what is known instead of unknown, right? So again, if you go to an ice cream shop and you're getting vanilla ice cream, you love the vanilla ice cream, then you're like, I'm only going to always get vanilla ice cream because I like it. One, we get it. That's wonderful. But maybe you're missing out on the chocolate ice cream that's actually even better than the vanilla. But mine is read to you over and over. And so we get to break those molds, even though uncomfortable, right? Because the moment you go to get the chocolate ice cream, there's going to be a part of you like, oh, the vanilla ice cream. Like, I'm not getting that today. But again, if you knew that something better may occur, if we try that chocolate ice cream, or even you might want to go back to the vanilla and appreciate that much more. That's the dance that we do in this world. So even with this ice cream concept, it is not about the ice cream, right? It's not about the desire of, I want chocolate ice cream, vanilla ice cream. In any of those moments that you're craving foods or even, things in your life, physical things, it is about a thing you're desiring internally. And that's why also this work is so powerful, to awaken who you really are at the core level, that at any moment you can step into that being, I am joy, right? I am that ice cream internally first. And then that's a beautiful, powerful way of then to know, do I actually desire the ice cream, or is it just a reminder, a way to be able to instant gratification, tap into something that's going to help me see who I am. But again, it's not going to last. If you can go into a meditation and feel this abundant joy in you versus go and get an ice cream, I can tell you the meditation is going to be 10 million times more powerful than that ice cream ever would. So dance with that. Notice if I'm desiring something physical, pause. What am I actually desiring to feel within is a huge, massive, deep shift within you to explore with. Definitely take note of that one and try it on. Let me know how that goes for you. I'm going to end with the idea again, what's happening kind of with trauma. Is imagining a tube within you and a marshmallow that goes in it. And the marshmallow expands. If you've ever done the game, I used to love doing this as a kid. You put a marshmallow in a microwave, and you see it expand as it almost explodes. That is what's happening in this tube, and it's staying stuck. And so that's why, again, you're going to notice triggers of comments people make or situations that occur, and that lion, again, chasing you comes up, because that marshmallow never got the message to go through, never got the message to shrink and go through. So when I work with people, in actual time, they have this huge shift. And what just happened? And really it's that metaphoric marshmallow that's shrinking, that used to be stuck, that needed to be there, needed to hold tight, but then it gets to loosen and then go through. So allowing to get to the roots of things gets that marshmallow to shrink and go through. So I wanted to give you that kind of perspective as well with this work. of those that are interested to move this through more efficiently and effectively. And we're going to close off here. If you stuck with me, I am celebrating you so big. And I, again, hope you took some pauses, take some time to take it all in, be gentle with yourself as it's processing all the things. But I really wanted today to come at you hot, like I said, in the most beautiful way, of things that are really going to help trigger you in the best ways, deconstipate you, delete tabs in the processor. And we're going to end with this thing that is going to leave you with something to notice. So go ahead and take a nice big deep breath in, deep breath out. And I'm going to ask you this question. And I want you to ask it to you, through you, for you. Is it okay to be okay? Maybe you say it out loud to yourself. Maybe you say your name. Is it okay, your name, to be okay? We live in a world where, again, so much of the marketing around us and noise is about not being okay. People are benefiting from you not feeling okay in many ways. Some intentional and some not. But I want to leave you with, is it okay to be okay? And just to notice whatever is showing up in you is perfect. If it's showing up, no, it's not okay to be okay. That's something to just honor and sit with. Or I want to be okay, but I feel like I can't be okay. Just noticing what narrative dialogue is going on and being gentle with that and seeing over the next few weeks as you check in with that phrase if it shifts at all within you. I am sending you so much love and light today. Thank you for being on this fun journey episode today that we just did it all. Maybe not all. Did all the, again, we have the buffet here. Take each thing at a time. Put on the clothing one at a time. And be gentle, playful, get into your imagination. And I would love to hear what was one of the things that triggered you most, maybe in a good way, in a not so good way for now. And what are you going to do differently right after this, after you listen to this, right? So we can so much listen to all the podcasts, take it all in, but it's actually actions we do from there. So what is one thing that you are going to do differently starting now? And I can't wait to hear. You can email me, you can Instagram DM me, you can carrier pigeon, let's get our imagination, you can carrier pigeon me. Step into the beautiful alignment of you. Because you wouldn't be listening to this if you were not ready for more. It's not even more, it's more of you, to feel more of you. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to be feeling the most free. You all want to feel more free. It's nothing outside of you, it's within. As always, you got this. There's so much love here for you. And I will see you next time. Maybe for your future self, copy this link and send it to you a month, 2, a year from now, so that you can also see the progress that you've done in your journey, because I know that you will have monumental progress. I will see you next time. Continue to remind yourself you are love, you are light, you are strong, powerful, perfect, whole and complete, and you got this. Bye for now.